Alright, welcome back to another video. My name is JP. I'm a part-time eBay reseller. We are in our very nicely organized and tidy and clean workspace, and we're going to go through some solds, and then I'm going to do a top 20 clothing brands that I sell on eBay. So these are my sort of personal favorites, what I would find and what I'm looking for when I'm out there sourcing. But let's waste no time. Let's go through the solds. All right, first sale, we've got this Nikon lens. It's just a standard kit lens, 1855. Picked this up in the charity shop for £7 or £8. And I sold that for £33 the other day. So, nice little sale. And we've got this bundle of Stephen King books. These were all free from my mother's collection, which I've just been selling over time. So these sold for £13.99, just a bundle of books there. Trying to bundle them up and get them sold because I've had them for quite a while. And they do sell slowly, so it's worth looking out for Stephen King books, especially if they're like first edition. One of the better sales though, sold these Pokemon Waps from 2003. Picked these up at the car boot for £5, and they've sold for £40 to someone in the US. So thank you very much. They've paid quite a bit to get those. Really good condition. I think that's probably why they've gone quite fast. A lot of these are sort of, bashed up or the colour's fading, but this one's really good condition. Really good sale on these. These are a little bit unexpected as well. These are Berghaus hiking shorts. And some of these, the soles on them like 30, 35, which just surprised me a little bit because they're just hiking shorts. I don't know why they're that much that sought after. They must just be quite popular. I don't know. But anyway, I sold them for 25 because I wanted to get a quick sale, and I literally listed them yesterday. They sold this morning, so happy with that. And then we've got Hugo Boss sweater. I had a bit of interest suddenly on this one. Like, it's been on there for a little bit. I actually picked this up from the car boot for about £2-3. Someone was asking me, what's the best price on it. People were sending me offers for like £6, £7, £8, and then someone sent me an offer for £11.50, and I thought, I'll take that. It's not bad. From like £2-3, I'm going to take that every day. And then we've got Armani Exchange trousers. These are like cargo trousers. Cargo trousers / chinos. They're quite like smart, I don't know what I'm saying, but these are Armani Exchange. Armani Exchange, still worth looking out for. It's not the best Armani line, but it's still going to sell. These sold for £20, and I picked them up for £4. So nice little profit on those. And then moving on, we've got a Paul Smith polo shirt. You want to look out for the little zebra logo when you're looking at Paul Smith clothing. But yeah, it's just a polo shirt. Not the best colour. It's like a sort of beigey colour with stripes on it. So it's, I don't know. But that sold for £16. Could have probably gone a little bit more. I put it on for 20. Someone sent me an offer. I paid £5 for that. So can't complain. And then we've got a Hugo Boss t-shirt. Quite a surprising little sale actually, because this sold outright for £15, and I picked that up for like £4 or £5. Can't actually remember on this one, but just a Hugo Boss t-shirt. Then we've got a Gabici polo shirt. This just sold for £10. Got loads of these, been selling loads of these. Really good brand, not gonna fetch loads of money, but if you can find it cheap enough, it's just good to have on there. Just keep those sales up, because it does sell quite consistently. Then we've got a Ralph Lauren shirt. This is really nice. Probably should have sold for a bit more again, but it just sold for £14, and that was £5 as well. So not loads of profit in that one, but I like to see shirts go because I don't sell them that often. Then we've got a Vans jacket. It's just like a canvas jacket, basic jacket, but it is a size small, so happy to see that go, because small items just don't sell as good as larger clothing items. But I'm still going to pick them up if they're good. All right, we're going to do top 20 clothing brands to sell on eBay, and this is basically just my personal list. These are my personal favorites. It's based on my experience selling since I've started. I've learned so much from when I've started, and at the moment eBay are really pushing their clothing, their pre-owned clothing, because there's no fees on pre-owned clothing. So hopefully there's a few people out there getting started. Hopefully this can give them a little bit of help on what clothing brands to look for, because some of these I never knew about when I started. Even for, you know, experienced sellers, there might still be things that you don't quite know about or didn't know that sold well, or I've just never heard of as well. And this is really just to share my experience. I've been doing this a while, but I'm no, you know, expert really. I just want to share that experience. So let's start with number one, which is crag hoppers. Crag hoppers, hiking, walking, outdoors kind of brand. And the main thing that I sell crag hoppers is the trousers, the hiking trousers. They seem to do pretty well. Can pick them up for about £4 or £5 maximum and sell them for about 20 to 25 maximum, depending on the trouser. Some of them can be a little better, like fleece lined ones or the waterproof ones. Anything that's got like that additional feature is going to do a little bit better. But there's another line of crag hoppers which does really well, and that is crag hoppers Nosy Life. It's insect repellent clothing, and this is just a crag hoppers Nosy Life short sleeve shirt. Obviously this was £5 from the charity shop the other day, but it will sell for about £20, and the jackets will sell for more, 25 to 30 for the Nosy Life jackets, and you can get long sleeve shirts as well. And I think they do other stuff. I've actually got some Nosy Life swim shorts as well, but anyway, that's crag hoppers. Look out for that in the charity shops. The next one, another hiking, walking, outdoors brand, is Rohan. I never knew about this brand when I started reselling, and it sells really well. I've sold loads and loads of Rohan stuff, trousers, jackets, t-shirts, polos, everything seems to sell Rohan, and it seems to sell for a good price. Like the polos can sell from like 15 to 20, which is quite a good price for polo shirts. That's like the same as like any sort of high-end fashion brand. Specifically the trousers I think sell better again. I think that basically, you know, it's basically because things wear out. So, you know, you're hiking, you're walking, you're going outdoors, your trousers wear out more than everything else. So that's what people are looking to replace mostly, and they don't want to pay top prices for them, because these prices are like 70 to 80 pounds these days for a pair of like good walking trousers. So they'd much rather go on eBay and buy them off me for 20, 25 quid. That's why these things sell. So yeah, look out for Rohan. And the next one, we're going to keep it hiking and outdoorsy, but I think this is the best one to look out for, and it is Rab. Rab is just like the top end hiking outdoors brand. It's a bit more aimed at, you know, mountaineering, more sort of extreme outdoors, if you like. So yeah, Rab is a really good one. I don't have anything at the moment because it just sells so fast. I did sell something the other day. It was a Rab Quest pullover, and that was new with tags. That sold for £45. I've sold a Rab jacket before for £60, and it had a repair on it. It actually had a hole in it that had been repaired. But the jackets, the trousers, and things like that, Rab are going to sell really well. We're going to move on to Nike. So this is obviously activewear, sportswear. Nike is a very saturated market. There's certain things that I find Nike do well that I can find out there in the shops, and that maybe it's my area, but mainly what I find is Nike golf polo shirts, and I'm wearing one right now. This is a Nike golf polo shirt. This was probably like £4, and they can sell for 15 to 20 quid. There's certain ones that do a little bit better. There's the Tiger Woods collection that seems to do a little bit better. Other Nike things that do well, it's basically anything that's more specific. Generic Nike can do well, but if it's like really nice. But Nike running, I find, does really well as well. And again, it's just because people are wearing these things out. They're getting worn a lot. They need to replace it. Running shorts, running top, running jackets, and things like that. Nike SB is a good one as well. That's Nike's skateboarding brand. That sells quite well. Rarely find that, but it is a good one to look out for. Pretty easy to spot. It just says Nike SB on it. So yeah, I thought I'd include those just because you might not think those other Nike things do well. You might just think, you know, the standard Nike stuff does well. Or a lot of people go on about the Nike with the red label. That stuff does do well, and vintage Nike. People try and sell a lot of vintage Nike. But I'm really trying to do other things that other people aren't doing, because there's already a lot out there. So, you know, I try and hit those other markets that maybe people aren't hitting. And the next sportswear brand is New Balance. We have a New Balance top here somewhere. New Balance quarter zip. It is a size small, unfortunately. It's not listed yet as well. But just picked this up other day. That was £5 from the charity shops. That should sell probably for about 15 quid. Not loads of profit in it. But it's £10 profit. You can't really go wrong with that. If it sells quite quick, that's really good. If you're selling that, 5 times a day, it's 50 quid a day. It's not bad at all. And yeah, New Balance just tends to do really well. And whenever I list it, it seems to sell really fast. And yeah, generally looking for t-shirts, shorts in the summer, polos, things like that. New Balance, good brand. It seems to be less saturated, which is good because there's not as much out there, so your listings can stand out a little bit more. All right, the next one, slightly moving away from the active wear slowly. The next one is Peter Miller, another one that I had no idea about when I started. And I thought it was mainly a golf brand because the first thing that I found was a Peter Miller Crown Sport golf polo shirt, something like that. Yeah, Peter Miller can sell really well. They do just generally the polo shirts are going to do the best, I think. I don't think they really focus on much else. They generally focus on polo shirts, and that's all I ever find. They do a few other lines as well that are really sought after. Peter Miller Crown Sport, Peter Miller Summer Comfort, and Comfort something. Basically, if it says anything else other than Peter Miller, it's probably quite good. Is that sale? No, it's just eBay telling me other things that I don't want to know. All right, the next one, Fred Perry. This is obviously one that most people are going to know about. Fred Perry is still a very good brand. Obviously started as a tennis brand, but now it's just really an overarching brand that, it's like high-end sportswear brand, if you like, and it sells really well. Generally, I just pick up the polo shirts if they're not priced too high, because obviously the charity shops do know about them. Generally find them for about 5-6 quid realistically, and I can sell them for about 20 quid, so it's still a good amount of profit, definitely, on Fred Perry. Often will sell a little bit lower than that on offer, but that's the life of a eBay reseller. The next one is a little, I think most people know about this one. It's quite similar on par, I would say, with Fred Perry, and it is Henry Lloyd. I used to think this was just a bit of a chavvy brand, and maybe it still is, I don't know, but it seems to sell quite well. And they do some other specific stuff as well, which I don't know if they started out as this, but they do some sailing stuff, sailing jackets that can sell for a lot of money. I've only ever picked one up, and that was from a car boot for like 3 quid. It was not in great condition, and it still sold for like 30-35 quid. They can actually sell for like 70. If they're in better condition, they can sell for like 70. So look out for that. Henry Lloyd, generally like polo shirts and sweaters, I will pick up. The sweaters will sell quite good. I've sold them for as much as like 25 quid. So it's not loads of money. Again, like, this is just my personal list, but also it's things that I can realistically go out and find every day. I'm not just going to include like Gucci and Prada, like, even though you might be able to find those things once in a blue moon, but these are things that you can go out and find every day if you want. And the next one, another one that I never heard of when I started doing this, is Gant. Don't know why it's called Gant. It might be Swedish. I've looked at the label that many times. It always says Sweden, Stockholm. Might be a Swedish brand. Maybe it means something in Sweden. I don't know. But don't need to know. I just know it sells well. Pick up things like trousers, sweaters, t-shirts, polos, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes the charity shops won't really know how to price it, I think, because it's one of those brands that not everybody knows about. You can generally pick it up for like £4-5 for a pair of trousers or a nice polo shirt or something like that, or a sweater, and that can sell really well. Obvious things that sell better with sweaters specifically, anything that's like Pima cotton, lamb's wool, cashmere, any sort of, better material is going to sell better, because people do keep an eye on that. People are bothered about that kind of thing. And the next one, we're going to include Paul and Shark. Paul and Shark, another one I don't think I really knew about this. And I think it's also another sort of sailing brand that's not a sailing brand really, but they kind of based it on that or started like that. I don't really find this that often, but maybe that's just my area. So maybe some of you guys find it all the time. But yeah, Paul and Shark, generally find like shirts and polo shirts, Paul and Shark. I have found some trousers actually. So I found some trousers fairly recently and they sold really well. I generally can pick them up for like, again, £4, £5, £6, maybe a little more. I found a shirt once for like 2 quid It was just a white shirt, but it was really nice condition, and that sold for like 30 quid. So yeah, look out for Paul and Shark. Number 11 now. We're on number 11, so we're halfway through. This next one is Paul Smith. Paul Smith, you might have seen, I just showed you a Paul Smith in the sales. One thing you want to look out for, Paul Smith, is this zebra logo. Don't know why people like this rainbow zebra, but people do. But other things will sell as well. I've got loads of shirts at the moment. I picked them all up for £2 each, those shirts, and they've been selling for about 15 to 20 quid. That one sold for 16, that Paul Smith polo there. Some stuff can sell for a lot more. I just think if it's a lot nicer, that's not a very nice one, in my opinion. I generally can pick those things up for like £4 or £5 again. That's generally what I'm sort of aiming for, picking stuff up for £5. Ideally, I want to sell it for then like 25, but that's not realistic. So I'm going to be selling it really for like 15 to 20, sometimes a bit less. And the next one is All Saints. Generally want to look out for the little ram skull logo on the polo shirts, on the t-shirts, on the jumpers, on the sweaters, on the hoodies, on all of it. And I have sold All Saints trousers as well, trousers and jeans. They don't tend to do as well, but I've sold them for like 20, 25 quid. So not bad, because you can generally pick All Saints up again for about 4 or 5 quid. Sometimes the charity shops obviously overprice stuff. We know that, we know that. The next one is a massive one, and it's some I think that people have started avoiding because it's just so saturated. And it is, of course, Ralph Lauren. But I'm definitely including this because I do find it all the time, and there's still stuff that's worth picking up. I found some shorts the other day. So these are Ralph Lauren polo shorts. They're a little bit colourful. These are going to sell for like 20 quid. They were £5 from the charity shop. But yeah, Ralph Lauren polo still does really well. And I generally find other things such as Ralph Lauren polo golf. I've got quite a few pairs of golf trousers and some few pairs of golf shorts that are Ralph Lauren as well. It's one of those things where, you know, there is a lot out there. There's a lot of people that will sell the Ralph Lauren polo shirts. They'll put them up for bids and everyone's getting them really cheap. And they're probably not in that good condition as well. So just because you've got a really good condition one, you put it out there, it's going to just get lost in all those listings. So I do tend to stay away from the polo shirts unless it's like really nice or a different material, or there's just something about it. You know, they do some with different logos like the big pony and different stuff like that. So if it's a little bit different, I will pick it up. That's my thought process basically. If it stands out a little bit, you're gonna pick it up. If it's really nice, you're gonna pick it up. If it's a bit standard, I probably wouldn't pick it up, especially if it's like 5, 6 quid. If it's like 1, 2 quid, then yeah, but realistically, you're probably not gonna find that. Yeah, Ralph Lauren, still a good brand to pick up, so don't avoid it. Trousers as well. I've got lots of Ralph Lauren trousers at the moment that need a listing. They can sell really well. I sold some Ralph Lauren jeans. They're a bit rarer. Anything that's a bit rarer to find, then pick it up, you know, because it's gonna sell. Number 14. John Smedley, another brand I had no idea about, and there's still people that probably don't know about it. One of the only brands I know of that, in fact, the only brand I know of that's made in England. Generally look out for the sweaters. They do a Sea Island cotton sweater. Don't know what Sea Island cotton is. Doesn't matter. It sells well. That's what I like. But they do some other stuff like wool sweaters as well. They all be really expensive, the wool, because it's like a really fine wool. So yeah, they're gonna fetch a bit of money. I sold a Sea Island cotton sweater recently for £25. The better stuff can sell for a bit more. And generally, it's just those thin sweaters. Don't know why, just is. It is what it is. Next one. This is another sort of massive brand. This massive brand that everybody's gonna know about, and it's been around for ages. And it is Diesel. It's a little bit of a weird one, this one. I would generally pick up the trousers, the jeans and the trousers for Diesel, because they seem to do really well. They can sell upwards from to 60 quid, some of the trousers. There's specific ones that do really well. But yeah, Diesel, definitely worth looking out for. Everybody knows about it, but you might think that the polo shirts do really well or something like that. I don't find that they do. I don't find that the tops do really well. Generally like the jeans, but also random things like accessories. Diesel belts, vintage Diesel belts will sell really well. And the next one, another brand that I never knew about. I think this is a German brand, and it's Meyer, Meyer. They mainly focus on trousers. I don't really think they make anything else, but they make really good sort of smart trousers, smart casual trousers. So yeah, definitely worth looking out for. This specific lines that'll do really well, but I'd probably just pick them all up, to be honest. I pick up anything Meyer, and I sometimes find it new, don't know why, new with tags, sometimes find that. Yeah, Meyer, definitely a brand worth looking out for. Can find it usually for like £4. It's usually quite cheap because I think people don't know about the brand, and it can sell for like 20 to 30 depending on what it is. Next one, another absolutely massive one that just absolutely blew up, and I think it's died a little bit, to be honest, and it is Levi's. We're still going to include it because it's a massive brand that you find out there all the time. Problem is, at the moment, the charity shops are putting up the prices of them. Every time I find a pair of Levi's, they're like 10 to 15 pounds, and they're not selling as good as I found they used to. I think there's kind of been like, in my experience, I don't know how true this is, but there's kind of been like a point where everyone was wanting a pair of Levi's, and then it's just kind of dropped, and not everybody cares that much. So at some point I was selling them for like £40 for a decent pair that are in really good condition. And now they're just not selling. They're selling for like £20 at the most. Maybe it's just how much is out there. It's a bit saturated. A lot of people getting into like selling vintage clothing, and Levi's is one of the big brands that they sell, especially obviously the jeans. So yeah, basically what I focus on with Levi's is actually getting different stuff that isn't jeans or trousers. I tend to find polo shirts, t-shirts, specific and shirts, specifically like pearl snap button shirts. Those Levi's shirts do really well, or any sort of like Western style shirts can do really well. So yeah, that's Levi's. And that's going to move us on nicely to the next one, because it's kind of a similar brand, and that is Wrangler. Wrangler, obviously, again, mainly focus on their jeans and their trousers, but also the Western shirts and the pearl snap button shirts can do really well. I think some of the charity shops are cottoning on, or thinking that they can get loads of money for it, but it's not worth loads of money. You know, we're talking like £20 for a pair of Wrangler jeans. That's what I find I'd sell it for. So it's not crazy money, but it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good quality stuff. So I'm happy to sell it. All right, second to last one is Dickies. One of those brands that's been around there for ages. It's a workwear brand. They do a skateboarding brand as well. It can sell really well. I generally don't pick up like the workwear stuff because I find it's not actually that valuable, even though that's the core brand. I generally pick up like trousers, shorts. I guess they are workwear, but I'm not selling them as workwear, if that makes sense. Jackets, hoodies, all that kind of stuff. But generally what I'll find is shorts and trousers. That's what I'll sell pretty good. I think it's just quite popular at the moment. It's not a high end or anything. It's not even like really good quality Dickies. It's actually I find quite bad quality. But there's a popularity in there. It's that sort of vintagey stuff. All right, next one, quite a similar brand, but this one I'd say is a little bit better, and it is Carhartt. Carhartt, one of my favorite brands out there. Picked this hat from TK Maxx actually for like £10, but I probably could have sold it for more. I probably could have sold it for like £25 on eBay, which is kind of crazy, but really good brand. Again, it's a workwear brand, but they also do a skateboarding brand, which is Carhartt WIP. So Carhartt WIP, which stands for work in progress. That stuff can sell really well as well, but anything Carhartt really is going to sell really well. Pretty much anything. Trousers, jackets, shorts, jeans, tops, caps, polos, shirts, overalls. Yeah, literally everything Carhartt I find sells really well. Never hangs around, so look out for Carhartt. But yeah, that's my number 20, and it's probably my favorite one on there just because I like the brand, you know. So that's that. Hopefully that was at least a little bit insightful. Hopefully somebody's learned something, or at least just given some inspiration to go out there and try and find some stuff. Keep doing what you're doing and enjoying it as well. and enjoying our life. That's why I like to do this kind of stuff, because I enjoy it. So if you're not enjoying it, I don't know why you're doing it, because if you're not enjoying it, you might as well go and do like some 9-to-5 job, because this is hard work. It's hard work, and it's constant, never a day off, doing it every day, and this stuff as well. So anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully there's been something there for someone, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Goodbye.